In this video, I'll be taking a look at the TCL Roku TV. Now, this is going to be part 2. If you want to watch part 1, it will be in the description below, or it should be the video right after this or before this on my YouTube channel. In part 1, I went over design and specs. In part 2, I'm going over user interface, picture quality, and final thoughts on the TV. Now I'm going to be booting up the TV, and before I boot up the TV, I would like to say that it does take about 7 or 8 seconds for the TV to boot up, and there is going to be a splash screen on the TV that says TCL Roku TV. And if you are wondering, the splash screen cannot be turned off and it cannot be changed to a different splash screen. It'll always say TCL Roku TV. Now, let's say, for instance, I've been using the TV for a couple of hours and I turn it off real quick and I go to eat dinner, or if I go to take a shower and I come back and turn the TV right back on, then it will instantly boot up. But if you left the TV off for about a couple of hours, then it will have to fully boot up. But just booting the TV back up in a couple of minutes, it will boot up really, really fast. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the TV. Now, as you can see, it is the quick boot. You did not see the TCL Roku TV logo or splash screen. It's because I just been watching it and I just turned it off recently, and now I turn it back on in a couple of minutes and boom, it turned right back on. Now, in terms of the user interface, it's exactly the same as all of the Roku products. They did not dumb down the user interface. They did not make the user interface any better. It's exactly the same as the Roku products. And I do own the Roku 3 and the Roku streaming stick. And it's exactly the same user interface. You got all your applications on the home screen. On the top left, it does say TCL Roku TV. And if you were wondering, you can actually change the TCL Roku TV logo in the top left. You can actually remove that. Basically what this is, it's just a theme on the Roku box that says TCL Roku TV. So you can change that if you would like. You don't have to keep that on there, luckily. And here's the main interface. Like I said, it's nothing different than your typical Roku. You got that nice clean interface. I am going to go show you the settings here, because there are some different settings since this is the Roku TV. You got your network, you got your themes here, and as you can see, it does say TCL Roku TV. If you change it, I'll go ahead and change it real fast so you can see what I'm talking about. See, and once you change it, it does not say TCL anymore. It just says Roku TV. So if you don't like TCL, you can remove that. But it will always say Roku TV no matter what. It just removes the TCL logo. And here's some of the other different settings. You have all your typical Roku box settings, but they have added some since this is a TV, of course. You got your sleep timer, of course, so you can turn on a sleep timer. It has 30 minutes, 1 hour, 1.5, 2, and 3 hours, so it'll turn off after that period of time. And then you also got TV brightness. You can change the brightness of the set to normal, high, low, and stuff like that. Now, here's the TV inputs, and the way the Roku TV actually handles your inputs is a little bit differently than other TVs. Most TVs, you switch the TV to that input. On the Roku TV, you actually add that input to your home screen. So I'm going to go ahead and add HDMI 2 on my home screen. Set up input, adding HDMI 2. And when I go back to the home screen, it will already have HDMI 2 as a little icon. And if you are wondering, before you actually go to your HDMI port or your video source, it will actually give you a small preview before you click on it. So let's say your PS4 was on and it was actually playing, or it was on the home screen, it would actually give you a little preview before you clicked on it. You just have to wait maybe 3 seconds, and then it will show you a little preview of what's happening on that HDMI port. And it does say HDMI 2. The nice thing is you can actually rename these HDMI ports, or you can rename all the sources. So you just go to settings and it says move input, rename input. close input. I'm going to go ahead and rename input. Here's all the available names. You can name your sources. You cannot name it your own thing with your own custom name. You do have to use a preset name already in the Roku TV. I really don't know why Roku is an actual option for a port, because that's kind of redundant. But here's all the ones you got. And then I'm just going to go ahead and delete it since I don't need this HDMI port active. And once you remove it, you can always go back to settings and enable it again. Or if you do plug in an HDMI port or something into one of those ports on the back, it will automatically add it as a home screen icon, so you don't have to go to settings to actually add it to your home screen. It automatically knows there's a source on one of your ports, and it will actually automatically add it. Now going back to settings, look at some of the other settings. Now I'm going to go into system settings or system, and then you do got some other things. Here I would like to talk about power. Now one nice thing I really love about the Roku TV is that on the Roku TV it actually allows you to set up the Roku TV however you want it. For example, it says power on. Basically, when you turn on the power and turn on your TV, you can have it set up to whatever you would like it. So say for instance you only use the Roku interface, you watch a lot of Netflix, you watch a lot of Hulu, you watch a lot of YouTube, and you use almost a lot of the apps on Roku, then you can always have it power on to the Roku home screen. And say for instance you never use the Roku interface, you only watch your cable box, or you only play your computer, or you only use your DVD player, then you can always have it power up to that HDMI port. If you never want to see the Roku interface, you never have to see the Roku interface. But since I use the Roku interface all the time, I always have the Roku interface come on at the beginning, because that's the main thing I use on this TV. I do use the Roku interface a lot, so it'll always power on to the Roku interface when I turn on the TV. And it also has your standard auto power off. It'll power off the TV after a couple of minutes or a couple of hours, however much you set it at. 15 minutes or 4 hours. Then you got system restart. And then you also got controls for other CEC. And basically what CEC is, it's basically a type of a signal. So say you're using your PS4 or your Xbox or something, it does have to support CEC. Not all HDMI devices support CEC, but basically what it allows you to do is, say you're watching Netflix, or say you're watching your cable box, or whatever you're doing, and you turn on the power to your PS4, for instance, or your Xbox, or whatever, and you turn it on, and it is connected to one of those HDMI ports in the back, it will automatically switch to that HDMI port without you touching a thing, so you don't have to look around to switch HDMI ports. You turn the power on to your device, and you make sure the TV's on, and boom, it'll automatically switch to that HDMI port. Now, it will give you like a 5-second countdown in case you accidentally turned on that device and it does support CEC. And say you're watching Netflix or your cable box and you don't want your show interrupted and somebody accidentally turned it on, you can cancel it real quick. So I am glad they do give you a little bit of a warning on here. And there's all the more. You can go ahead and read those. It does got some other features with like video receivers or audio receivers and stuff like that. I don't honestly really know a lot about that, to be honest. I only know about CEC, and I have tried CEC before, and I do think it's a very cool feature. Now we also have screen mirroring, and basically what screen mirroring is, it allows you to actually mirror your Android device or your Windows device. Unfortunately, iOS is not supported, so if you are a iOS user, you will not be able to actually use the screen mirroring on this TV. It's only Android and Windows devices. And basically what it does is it takes your screen on your phone, your tablet, and actually puts it on the big screen. So anything you're doing on your phone or your tablet will be mirrored on the TV. Now, there is another nice feature with the Roku TV that I do like, and it is supported on Android and iOS. Basically, if you're watching Netflix on your phone, or if you're watching YouTube on your phone, there is going to be a little cast button on your Android or iOS device that'll let you transmit whatever show or whatever video you're watching on your tablet or smartphone onto the Roku TV. It's not the same as screen mirroring. It will not mirror everything you're doing on your tablet or smartphone. It'll only transmit that show or that video straight to the TV. The ones I know that are supported are Netflix and YouTube. I don't know about Hulu or Amazon or anything like that, but I do know Netflix and YouTube are supported. You just hit a little cast button on the YouTube or Netflix app, and it will beam it straight to this TV without you doing anything, which is really, really nice. And that's pretty much all that's going to be in the settings. Now, I am going to be showing you two applications on here. I am going to be showing you Netflix and YouTube. It does have all your standard applications like Hulu Plus. It does also have HBO Go. It also has Amazon. The reason you're not seeing it on my home screen is because I don't subscribe to those subscriptions, so I don't have it on my box. But here you go. If you do want to add more channels, you just go to streaming channels and you can add more channels. Here's all the channels that are supported. I'll go through some of the lists so you can take a look and see if anything that you like is on this Roku TV. So that's just a preview of some stuff that you're going to find on the store when you want to add applications. And one nice thing I liked about this TV, it does have the search feature, which is really, really nice on here. I already have some, I think some previous searches, so I'm going to go ahead and show you those. But basically what's nice about this is, I'll just do Ben Affleck, I was just playing with it a little bit. And basically what you do is you type in someone's name, and it'll tell you how many movies or how many shows are on Roku. And it searches through Netflix, it searches through Amazon. Basically, it searches through all the platforms. It's not just one app. It's almost all the apps. So he has 42 movies and one show on Roku. And then it will show you all the movies and what year it was produced. It'll give you the rating. And it'll also tell you what subscription or what provider is actually providing that movie. MGO is providing it. And if it has a little check mark by the HD, it means that you actually subscribe to that service. If it doesn't have a check mark, that means you don't subscribe to that service. As you can see, I don't subscribe to Cinema Now, Amazon, Vudu. I don't have those services, but apparently I do have MGO, so it does say MGO. Then you can search around. That's one nice thing I like about this. It makes it easier for you to find movies and TV shows that you want to watch instead of stumbling through hours of garbage that you don't want to watch. You can easily find what you want to watch anytime you want. And if you have too much stuff that you've been watching or been searching, you can actually clear it so you never have to see that. And that's one feature I do love about this TV. And now I'm going to go home and show you Netflix and YouTube. And then I'm going to do my final thoughts. And in terms of picture quality right now, I must say the picture quality is kind of a little bit, to be honest, a little bit washed out. And the blacks aren't as crisp or as dark as I want them to, I would honestly have to say. But for the home user or the average user, you won't really know about the washed out colors or the not true blacks. But overall, it is a very solid picture, I must say. It's definitely not the best picture quality on the market. I do wish some of the colors were more vivid and some of the blacks were definitely more blacker. But anyway, I'll let you get a little taste of the picture quality. I do own Netflix, and I'll go ahead and show you some Netflix. And in terms of speed of this TV, it's not as fast as the Roku 3, and it's not as slow as the Roku stick. It's somewhere in between the Roku streaming stick and the Roku 3 in terms of performance. It's about in the middle of those two devices. Now anyway, I'll just pick a show and show you or a TV show or a movie. I'll just do, I guess, Expendables 3 real fast. I do have pretty fast internet at my house. And as you can see, the video loaded up very, very fast. Now, if you were listening, the audio on here is actually okay for rear-facing speakers. The speakers are stereo, and they are rear-facing speakers. The only thing is, a lot of people were saying that they were bad speakers, but in my testing, they're okay speakers. They're not going to blow you away by any means. You will need a sound bar, or you will need some external speakers, I would say, but they're not going to blow you away. And if you're looking at this video right now and thinking that it's grainy, it's not going to be like this when you actually watch the full movie. It's just when you first load up like a YouTube video or Netflix, it does take a little bit for your internet connection to actually make it full HD or 4K or whatever the source is. It does take a little while to whatever it's going to be broadcasting at, or the picture quality. It just starts out grainy for a little bit and then it becomes more clear. But for copyright infringements, I don't want to go on with the movie. So you are seeing it kind of grainy right now, but I can assure you it's not going to be grainy like this. It is going to be full HD 1080p. That's the reason, if you're wondering why it looks a little bit grainy right now. And I am going to be showing you the settings on this TV in terms of adjusting the picture and stuff like that. So here's what you get when you're in any application. You can actually change it in any application. You got TV brightness, and here's the, as you noticed, here's where the sound bar is, or the sound indicator. The sound indicator is on the right side of the TV. It's not at the bottom, and it will go away. Now you got your TV brightness, picture mode, audio mode, sleep timer. You also got advanced settings. Here's what I actually have on this TV in terms of settings, and they've been doing pretty good for me. You can just, and that's really all you can do in terms of customizing the picture on this TV. Now that's all you can actually customize on this TV. You can't really customize a whole lot, but what they do have here, I think for most average people, you should be okay with the settings in terms of adjusting the picture and stuff like that. I don't think you would honestly need more settings. And I didn't know if you noticed in there, this does have a game mode for gamers, so it's supposed to reduce lag. I have not tried that yet, but apparently it's supposed to help with lag. And I'm just going to go ahead and back out of this application. Now, one thing I must tell you is, one of the slower applications on this TV is YouTube. I don't know why, but YouTube is going to be one of the longest loading applications on this TV. It's not bad by any means, but if you are going to be watching a lot of YouTube, I would have to say that it's going to be kind of slow on this TV. It's the slowest app anyway. As you can see, it's still loading up. Which, if you compare this to the Roku 3, Roku 3 loads just like instantly. As you can see, this is my YouTube channel, so you are seeing some of my subscriptions and whatnot. I'm just going to go to one of my videos to show you how YouTube works or looks on this TV. To be honest, I really don't like the new YouTube interface on connected TVs. I think it's kind of like clunky. It's not bad, but I do think it's a little clunky. It could be better, honestly. I'll just go ahead and pick one.
Ram has the best towing, the best torque.
In this video, I'm going to show you how to mirror your Android screen or your Windows screen on the Roku. Roku just updated their devices so you can actually mirror your Android. As you can see, it does load YouTube videos fairly fast, and it does load them in HD and all. I do like that. It's just, it's kind of a clunky interface, and YouTube kind of takes a while to load up on this TV. That's really one downside to this TV I do not like. YouTube is the slowest loading app.